computer.
End of February. Whew.
End of February. Good morning, everyone. This is, oh my gosh, class numero seven. We are talking about, what are we talking about? We are talking about the magic of fonts, using fonts as a tool to bring creativity to your art page, and just show up in magical wonder. And so I asked everyone to bring some of their favorite quotes to use on an art page. So one of my favorites, which I think was in the newsletter: "You're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think," by Christopher Robin, of course. One of my all-time favorite quotes. I can remember in the years of just sort of struggling in my marriage, and just all I needed was just that little, just a little something, that little encouragement. And I could always resonate, right? I could always feel that quote and resonate, a little part of that was in me. And I think reading words like that, and you see it on social media. Everyone's gravitates towards those little memes, or the little words that kind of resonate. And it's beautiful to recognize which ones do, and then honor them on an art page. And by doing so, let's remember why we're doing this. When we have this thought or this feeling, and we put it onto paper, and we have a visual, it starts to enter in our bodies in a different kind of way. And then visually, it almost imprints, especially when we have an emotional response to it. And giving it a visual and playing with that, right? Meditating that in the creative art page space, it allows it to even embed more. And then, of course, it becomes this constant visual. And hey, I created that. Hey, that's a part of me. So it's just, I don't know, this lovely dance of self-nurturing that we can offer ourselves. So one way to really bring more power into that quote of yours, and hopefully you have a few to choose from, is to personalize it, to change it to I statements, and actually write it out in I statements. So you're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. So I am braver than I think. I am stronger. I'm stronger than I seem, and I am so smarter than what I think. So personalizing it it allows it to be accessible a little more. I don't know. One of my other all-time faves from Mary Oliver is, "Tell me what it is you plan to do with your one wild and precious life." So I could meditate that, and how can I personalize that to me, and like even changing the words if it makes sense. So Susan, tell me, Susan, what am I? What are my plans? What am I going to do with my one wild and precious life that I have? So personalizing it that way. And let's see. "And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom." Anais Nin, another one of my favorite quoters. And so, how do I personalize that? And the day came when the risk, or the day came when I risked, or the risk that I took to I don't know, I can't do this live. I'm sitting here, okay, this one's getting a little complex, but hopefully you sort of see what I'm suggesting. So there will be that invitation. Maybe just grab one, and I'll give you 2 minutes to sort of personalize it. So just something quick, just so you can kind of feel the potential that it has. And then we're going to do a word pool, and we're going to invite other gorgeous words to enter into our morning for our art practice. So I'll go ahead and take 2 minutes to personalize one of your quotes. Good morning, Pat.
Yeah.
We're just looking at our quotes that we were asked to bring this morning.
So how do I personalize it?
Yeah, so just changing it to I language. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Christopher Robin one I shared at the beginning was you're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. So I am braver than I believe, I am stronger than I seem, and I'm smarter than I think.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And if they don't have where you can just swap it out a word for I, just, reword the statement that is empowering, but personalized to I. See if you.
Okay, I have a Winnie the Pooh one.
Yes, I love Winnie. I love Winnie.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I've just gone ahead and muted everyone. So if you want to speak, just a reminder, you have to unmute yourself.
Susan,
Yes.
can you substitute instead of I, can you substitute me?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Okay.
So just again, I just wanted to share just that little tidbit. You can play with that with other quotes and see how that resonates with you, and then rewriting them into your journal book. Again, the writing process and almost allows you to really own, that personalization. So something you can do on your own time as well. So quotes are meant to uplift, inspire, and motivate our spirits. So the written exercise, is we're going to just create this word pool to reflect on those kinds of words. So having your pen handy, and I've got a few questions, and you can write, single words, just let them float through the page, and yeah, let's see what we come up with. So if you're ready, write 3 words that inspire you. Just off the top, when you hear the word inspiration, what 3 words come to mind? And they can be anything. There's no rules. Remember those first words that come up. If chocolate inspires you, make sure that's one of your words. So what 3 words inspire you? And let's think about what symbols in life motivate you or inspire you. What symbolically in this world, in this life, in your personal circle, what symbolically is something that motivates or inspires? And if you have time to write 2 or 3 or 4 words, just continue the flow of words. What symbolizes strength? What words symbolize strength to you? Is it a place? Is it an animal? Is it an object? Is it a thing? And what symbolizes self love or self care? I know for me, a cup of tea. What symbolizes self love or self care? And again, we're just doing quick jotting down of words, whatever comes to mind. And you can always add more to this list after. What is the most powerful symbol to you? What is the most powerful symbol to you? What words touch your heart? And it doesn't have to be a thing, even like a word like endearing. I love the word endearing. What words touch your heart? Could be a person, place, or thing. What in nature symbolizes bravery and courage? What in nature symbolizes bravery and courage? What color is empowering to you? When you think of empowerment, what color do you imagine being surrounded with? And if you have two or three, or perhaps the rainbow's there, you're welcome to invite them all in. Now add a few of these words if they feel right to you. Effervescent, such a fun word. Another word for resilient, effervescent. Magic, journey, discover, blossom, and miracle. So now you have your quotes in front of you that inspire and motivate you. And you have a beautiful pool, a page of language words that represent growth, resilience, and magic. I want you to take 5 minutes and just see what comes from those words. It could be, whatever. It could be, you could create your own empowering quote from these new words. You could just create a little short story, a little poem, a little haiku, whatever makes sense for you. I will give you 5 minutes to play with those words, and just even the process of writing them down and inviting them into into your spirit, into your soul when we go to create this magical page of ours today.
Susan, you're muted.
Thank you, Lori. But you were reading my lips. You knew what I was saying. Thank you. Just everyone's head's still down. It looks like you guys are deep in thought. So just a thumbs up if you're ready. If anyone's finished, or if you're still writing. I kind of want to give space if you're still writing. Would anyone, while some of you are finishing up, would anyone like to share what? I always find this such a rich part of our session, is hearing what others have created. If anyone would like to share, or you feel free to type it, your little poem in the chat box, and I can read it.
I can share if no one else is.
Yes, please, Nicole.
Curiosity from the soul, a heart, love at the core, fire and water, seemingly opposites, yet both evoking empathy, resilience, and compassion. Orange, red, pink, blending and transforming into one another, like a magical, effervescent sunset over the calm waters of meditative walks in nature, resilient like the cedar tree, full of hope, rooted in the rock face and reaching skyward, trusting the roots traveling down, across, finding crevices in which to anchor, like the crevices of a beating, loving heart.
Wow. That just came from your word pool. Wow.
Yep. It wouldn't have come without the word pool, I don't think.
But it's your word pool. That's what makes it so powerful. These are the words that you chose, which they are, your touchstone, your North Star. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Nicole.
You're welcome.
I know that's a tough act to follow, but anyone else like to share?
I will. I think her pool of words is like the ocean, and mine is the little wading pool that you stick your little toes in. But I'm brave.
Yes.
Definitely, that was beautiful. Made
Yes.
me cry.
Mm.
So mine is, the earth has music that I listen to in discovering the awesomeness of me. And as I travel on my life journey, I immerse myself in the miracle of my dreams. And as I blossom, the magic allows me to live, laugh, love.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Where are you?
I don't know where this came from, but I love how you do it.
That's a deep wading pool, I think.
Okay, well.
You know what?
And I talked myself into the fact that I don't know what she's doing today. I don't think I'm into this. Just, I don't know. You just do this thing that just blows me away. Honestly.
It's all you, Pat. It's all you. And wow, sometimes less is more. And
wow,
I feel like you have a writer in you. Like, I don't know where you're getting this stuff, but and the way you ended
from
it.
You're digging it out.
I'm over here in my studio. I am doing nothing. You're the one that's bringing your own power to page, and I love it. And look at you volunteering to speak. That's so great. That's empowering.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to share? This is so rich. It floors me. Yes, Lori?
I had fun doing this. It was interesting. So my quote was, "You'll miss the best things if you keep your eyes shut," by Dr. Seuss. So with that and the word pool, when I open my eyes and really I see the beauty and the healing of nature. I feel the comfort of the mountains and the oceans. They have my back. I smell the earthy moistness of forest and all the growth and potential. I hear the waves and the birds calling out and checking in with me. I taste the raindrops and snowflakes as I lift my head to gaze at all the wonder, the magic, the miracles that are right there for me when I open my eyes. And then I made a little eye. I drew a little eye, and I'm not very artistic, so I'm laughing because it looks like a little bug, like the eyelashes and the so, and then even the pupil, it looks like a bit of a tunnel. So I created this little poem about my little eye, and I said, "Smile, little bug. The deep tunnel is just a path to discovering yourself and your true self." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
That is so cool. It's so cool. And that's what this is all about. It's allowing the stepping stones to inform the next discovery, to inform the next. So that's so rich, Lori. That's
It
so
was
rich.
fun.
And I loved, and I maybe skipped over it too quickly, but I loved how, and I might want to write that down so I can make it clear that you used the quote exactly, to, not that that was the intent, but there was that invitation to allow that quote to, to further, inform the experience. So good for you. Thank you for sharing. That was so magical. I love it. This is fun. Anyone else like to share their quote? That apparently I did for you, which is not the case. Would anyone else like to share? Holding space. We have time for one more if someone else would like to share. Okay, excellent. All right, we get to do our art page now. So we're going to honor these beautiful words. And so you can choose to write your poem in this space or use the quote as is, or the personalized quote that you have created, and just creating this fun page for it. So I'm going to work on mine while you're working on yours, but I thought I'd give you sort of like a quick demo in that process. In the newsletter, I had these two font pages. Of course, you can grab your own fonts, but this one's super fun. It leaves space for you to be decorative. So I'll probably use that in my design. And your quotes, when you're writing the words, well, I'll just do the demo. I'm going to switch Arui here to my replace the spotlight. So look at what I found. How fun is that? I cut these little vases out of a magazine, and they are so cute. A lot of my quotes that I love are endearing to me are about growth. And so I thought, how fun. I've got the botanical drawings here. So I was thinking about placing these vases, and creating these botanical flowers within. So I just have this on an orange page so that you could see it, but it's going to work as a great quick little demo, and then I'm going to do the real one. Also, there's the invitation of cutting out words. So you could have, you could start your quote on your page. I'm just going to make up words. You can write, you can print, you can throw in joy. I am joy, sticking that in. And then you can be scrolly because I am, and then, sticking in some more letters. So you can do a combination of your letters with cut out words. I don't even know what that says right now, but that's just like a quick, as far as placing your word art, if you will, on your page. But I'm going to go with that theme, that ribbon crossing. Liz Campbell is entering the building. Good morning, Liz. So I'm going to go ahead and think about that ribbon effect. And I've got these vases, and I'm going to do these cute little flowers. I'm going to glue this down. Actually, the art page that I'm going to do, the background, I'm going to choose, so obviously it's white, right? That's what I'm going to be gluing on. And then I think I'm just going to paint this a solid, I'm going to go with fuchsia because I'm going to do this black and white theme. You know, if you had colorful words in there too, that works as well. But we've done a lot of demos on doing crazy backgrounds, so you get to choose. But I'm going to keep mine very simple, glue this on, paint this like a fuchsia, and then I'm going to invite, sort of, remember that ribbon effect, I'm going to write the words kind of coming down on the space over here. So just like another demo, I'm going to continue with this black and white theme, and maybe create a checkered board tabletop going across. Maybe once I get going, I'm not sure, but I'm just doing a quick demo here. So perhaps something like that, creating this tabletop, you know, the flowers are going to be like that. And then I'm going to have the words show up fancy here in whatever way that looks on paper. That's just a quick suggestion. Does that work for you guys? And we can just dive into the art making process. Thumbs up, good to go. As always, just use your unmute button and we can have a chat as we go. While you're creating, I'm just going to share this as well. Another reverse idea is to look for a page in a magazine that's inspiring and then create a quote from that page. So seeing these bags of gifts, I was inspired to, you are a gift to this world. And so then personalizing that, I am a gift to this world. And so what I would do is perhaps cut out these gift bags and place them in a way, and then using perhaps like a black and white theme of checkers to create sort of a cross interest, and then having the quote that I just created off to the side. Now I saw this little M&M advertisement and I'm thinking, I'm not sure what the quote would be, but it made me laugh. And you know what? Art journaling doesn't have to be all about seriousness. We could totally have a good laugh about that little scene with the M&Ms and creating a quote from that. So that's just an example of how to sort of work backwards and using magazines as a starting place to find something that, you know, you could make a quote on. I did find this image. I kind of wanted to share this as well, just as a demo idea. Creating quotes is finding spaces on your art page for the words to show up. And this was just a beautiful invitation. I could totally see myself cutting out that doorway, right? And leaving all of the rest on the page, gluing that down, and then having the story or the poem show up in between that doorway. And you could color that and paint it and draw your words in there. I just thought that was interesting that you could do that. So there you go. Those are my little tips for today. I'm going to go ahead and dive into my creative page. You're welcome to glance up at any time and see how it's developing as well. You're welcome to ask questions or even share your poem with us at any time. We would love to hear from you. Until now, we've done all of the painted backgrounds first and then glued things on top. But today, I'm so in love with these little black and white vases. I'm going to glue them first and then paint around them. And as always, your art making experience is a form of meditation. And the word pool or the writings that we have discovered are being invited to this art journaling experience. The energy of the words, the essence. The painting experience for me is very meditative. Although I'm feeling a little stressed that I glued the vases down first. So note to self. I'm feeling like I'm having to paint around, which is fine. I wanted to see what that would feel like. And so the idea going through your magazines would be finding symbols for yourself from your word pool that makes sense for you. You know, perhaps you found that image in nature that speaks strength, and perhaps that's going to be an image that you find to appear on your art page. And maybe it is just abstract. Maybe you don't have any visuals to complement your quote. Now I said I was going to just do a solid, but I'm already feeling I want orange in here as well. So I'm going to have two tones show up. Of course, you could probably even write your quote all down first and then add your words on top. Or sorry, add the color on top. Just be playful. You could do this 100 different ways. This isn't about making perfect pages. It really is a practice of letting go, honestly. Letting go of expectations, of your, perhaps your artistic ability or what you believe to be your artistic ability. But even as an artist, for me, it's letting go of, what I know the potential of an art page could be as far as skills go. And I just abandoned all of those. Like this, I'm totally painting perhaps from a 10-year-old style or experience. And I love that. Remember that we did that back in class, was it 3? I'm not really painting professionally, and I love that. I don't really know what I'm doing, and I love that. And honestly, I do, because as a professional artist, oh my goodness, I have a huge obligation to show up and create from this perceived space, and just being playful and open to the development without an expectation is so refreshing. I mean, most of you that know me, I kind of paint from that anyway, but as a professional artist, many, do have a system in place, and it's hard for them to break free from that. See, I like that. I like the glow that's created. I'm glad I brought. So there you go. Permission to change your mind, just like I did. So I used fluorescent. What did I use? I used fluorescent magenta from TriArt, and I Liquitex. I actually prefer Liquitex. They're fluorescent pink, but I don't have any on hand, and I used the Liquitex fluorescent orange to create my background. And by doing so and seeing this in the light, this almost feels yellow. It's very orange in person, but I feel like I want to get some yellow in there, almost like the sun. Because guess what my power symbol was? That's what I'm talking about. I too had an experience. So my first power symbol that came to mind was the sun. The sun has always had a big representation for me. And so it needs to show up on my art page. Let's invite that into the background. There we go. And again, it's just the essence. It doesn't have to be a literal sunshine. Love it. I was using TriArt Bismuth Yellow Light. It's one of the most intense yellows out there, a real true yellow. Now to lighten that yellow, I'm going to add a little bit of white. I'm just so excited about the sun right now. There we go. Yes. See that? I added a little bit of white to the yellow and it made it even brighter. Now I'm dry brushing. Remember what that is? It's like when you barely have any paint on your brush and you're just rubbing it around. Pretty. There we go. Love it, love it. Just gonna take a cloth paper towel. I know this pink is already dry. Dab the yellow so it can dry quicker. While I'm waiting for the paint to dry, I can continue to flip through my magazines, perhaps make a choice about what quote I'm going to fit in there or what writing. And then maybe I can find some of the words and cut them out of the magazine instead of writing some of them. Just something I just thought of. I love this little word, a fresh start. So you could Google a quote about a fresh start, right? That could be a beginning, and see if anything comes up from your Google to inform a quote that would represent a fresh start. And then, of course, fresh flowers coming out of the vase. It all kind of ties in, doesn't it? So this is fun. I'm going to share this. So I loved the title, this little cutout that I did from a magazine, A Fresh Start. So I went to my Google page And I Googled, if I can find it here, I Googled quotes on a fresh start, and this is what came up.
I found 6 on the website
Oh,
startstoself.com.
that's funny.
Quotes about fresh starts.
Okay,
Here are the
Google.
first 3.
Stop.
Every day is a new opportunity to begin again. You're off to great places. And rock.
All right. We can't use that Google word. It kind of gets away on us. Anyway, what I found when I Googled, isn't it nice to think that tomorrow is a new day with no mistakes in it yet? L.M. Montgomery. Be willing to be a beginner every single morning. The beginning is always today. As long as I am breathing in my eyes, I am just beginning. I keep turning over new leaves and spoiling them as I used to spoil my copybooks, and I make so many beginnings there, never will be an end. So that's fun. So yeah, choosing words that speak to you from a magazine and then Googling them and seeing if you can find a quote to match. That's fun. How's everyone doing? Oh my goodness, I totally fell into that meditation. Just finishing up, wanting to get some flowers in my vases, my vase vases. There, I'm gonna land there. Oh my goodness, it's 20, almost 25 after 11 already. Just going to switch my add to spotlight. So my little cutout, a fresh start. I Googled a quote that might resonate with a fresh start. And I am reminded of one of my all-time favorite quotes. You are one decision away from a totally different life. So that's what I came up with. Would love to hear from all of you. What's going on out there? Show me, show me. Everyone's been so quiet. I can't wait to see what you guys have been up to.
I can show you mine.
Yes, please.
So she has been calling out to me for a while and I just never found the right piece. So I immediately, when I was looking at my poem, thought of her. And because it's my own poem, I really felt like it needed to be in my own scratchy, messy handwriting.
Yes.
But I did emphasize a few of the words in block letters and like resilient, hope, trusting, anchor, those kinds of words.
Mm-hmm.
And then it felt like she wasn't really done. So I added her beating
Heart.
Beating, loving heart in the middle.
That image is striking. Nicole, did you just cut out a shape out of trees, or is that what it was like in the magazine?
I cut this out. It's an advertisement in the yoga journal.
Okay, beautiful.
So every time I see it, I think, oh, I just love that. But I didn't know what to do with it.
Yes.
But then because I pulled some quotes that I love, I've started working on another one. I've been playing with some metallic paints.
Yes.
And I find them a challenge to work with. But this is a quote that I've started from the Little Prince.
Yes.
And I like the celestial kind of metallic
Mm.
kind of background. It reminds me of the cover of Le Petit Prince in French. And so I started the quote and playing with the letters.
Good, good. I love it. Yes. I love that you have the connection to the metallic paint and how that, again, see how you're personalizing it. You have a connection to the metallic paint, and then it just adds to the essence of what you're trying to convey or the energy that you're trying to bring to your art page. Well,
Yeah, I find the metallic, I love it, but it's a bit of a challenge. Like it doesn't work just everywhere.
right.
But because the Little Prince has that sort of spacey, celestial kind of
Yeah.
vibe going on, it just immediately pulled me.
Right. Nice.
And fun fact, when you get paint on your hands and get it on your paintbrush and then absentmindedly stick your paintbrush in your mouth to hang on to, it's a good thing the paint's non-toxic and it doesn't taste very good.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Good, good, good. Who else would like to share? I would love to see your art pages and what came up for you. Would anyone like to share? So nice to see you here this morning, Jen.
I can share. I'm now nowhere near done. I'm very distracted today. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's gonna be a day process.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm reading this book, so that last art and quote resonated with me.
Oh,
I've read it more than once.
yes. Aw.
So my quote I started with was "Shine like the whole universe is yours" by Rumi. So I switched it, of course, to say "I shine like the universe is mine."
Yes.
Yes. Even though I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
So then I took all my words and made this imaginary poem haiku thing with 1 syllable, then 2, then 3, all the way to 9, because my little quote had 9.
Nice.
And I literally just wrote what I wrote while you were talking, basically in order. Love, sunshine, trees and rocks, tulips blooming, belonging, kindness, growth, journey, miracle. Yoga, candles, and hot baths, mindful daily self-care rituals. I shine like the universe is mine. And then I looked through magazines, and this apparently needed to be painted 3 times at least before it can be wrote on.
It's gonna have to dry just as. Oh.
So it was a Disney ad.
Oh.
And one of my little things that I wrote about was a butterfly, because I really love how they change in that whole kind of bit we don't understand.
Yeah, the
But
magic.
then the frog jumped out at me. And I'm like, well, they changed quite a lot too. Maybe I don't have to be as perfect as a butterfly.
Yes.
Maybe I can be a frog.
Ah, that's
Or a tadpole still, maybe.
That's a beautiful stumbling block that you just brought to my awareness. How the butterfly is a transformation and how that can seem difficult for some people in the perfection of a butterfly. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frog or tadpole. My darling, sweet Jen, you are the butterfly.
Thanks.
Thank you for sharing. And I'm loving, is that like a map? Is that like, was the image?
No, it was an ad for Disney. So that's a Disney princess with the whole, I don't know, little, it's a pond with trees and little twinkly, sparkly lights.
What it looked like to me was that it looked like an old pirate's map cut out. And outside of it is like this blue water. And it's like, so it's like landmass, it's an island. And I saw sort of like a woman standing on like this, like a ship or whatever. Sailing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be that. Yes, it could be that.
It's amazing with our screen different variations.
Yeah.
kind of give this look.
I'll
But
send a picture if it ever
But
gets finished today.
yeah, that's okay. It'll need lots of drying. Be careful
I need
writing
lots
on
of
your
meditating.
markers. When it's that thick, be careful putting markers. I just don't want you to ruin your markers. It might be too thick. I don't know. You'll see.
Right.
Right? Like it might
Maybe I'll
kind
use a crayon.
yeah.
We'll
Like
see.
if it's the last thing on top, yes.
Yeah.
Oil pastels.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be rough looking, but who knows? Or black, good old black marker works.
Yeah.
Thank you. What a great morning. Oh my goodness. Who else would like to share? I would love to see what you guys ended up with, even if you're just sharing the art. I've got my romper domper do. I need a mirror. I see Nicole, I see Jen, I see Carol, and I see Lori. I see Erin, and I see you too, Alex. You're too young to know who romper domper do. You're missing out, Alex. You're gonna need to Google that one. Tell me too. I see Wendy, I see Andrea, Tammy, Gail, and
You missed me.
Liz. Who's me? Oh, I gotta go back. The freaking rock star.
No, the other freaking rock star. So
Pat, yes.
I got totally sidetracked
Okay.
and I lost the little piece of magazine that I borrowed it from, but it was a picture of an egg with the sunshine, a cracked egg,
Yes.
an open cracked egg with the
Yeah.
sunshine pouring out. So I Googled egg and I got, if an egg is broken by an outside force, life ends. If broken by an inside force, life
On
begins.
websingers.com, they say.
Okay, Google, stop. So sorry.
Sorry, I said the word. Anyway, so if broken by an inside force, life begins. Great things always begin from the inside.
Mm.
So I love that. So juvenile painter that I am, I tried to draw the cracked egg
Oh,
with the sun coming out of it, but I totally stole the idea, but I loved it and I just can't. So then there was like egg. Okay, what color should I paint the egg? So then I thought of golden egg, like the golden egg. This is not the golden egg, but anyway, I have to work on it because I kind of think I made my background a little too dark to put my orange
okay.
burst of
So
sunshine.
a trick, just add white first. Make your sunshine white so it blocks the background.
But what about like the rays is what I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
make them
white
first
Oh,
and then
okay.
yellow.
Ah,
So
well,
that's
that's so funny because I did that on the white to hide my pencil marks.
yes. No, always start with
Okay.
white.
Ah.
It blocks the background and then you can put your fresh color on top.
Okay, and then how I'm going to fit those words in there, I have no idea, but I
Yes.
just love that.
That was a great example of doing it backwards, like finding an image and then Googling a quote.
Mhm.
What is that? Does anyone else know that gorgeous quote about an egg? About some people see the egg as cracked is broken, but something about the cracking is breaking out or something. It was a great quote. I just mashed it all up. But it was reversing, you see a crack as being broken, but it's actually a crack of breaking free. Right? Or
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
right? I forget the exact words, but they're pretty beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that example and great artwork. And then I'm thinking golden egg, like, so this is just like how Lori's evolved. So one piggybacks on the other. So wouldn't it be fun to Google the meaning of the golden egg or the stories of the golden egg? And then you could kind of get lost in the golden egg story, or maybe
I could get lost.
right? Or maybe there's a quote about the golden egg, right? So it's endless. Like you could do this, for hours.
I could. My husband said, you've been watching too much Tim Hortons ad, the fresh cracked egg. It's like, what were they using before? Anyway,
whatever the case, it led you to a beautiful little note there. So thank
yeah, just a sidetrack, but I liked it.
yeah, sidetracks welcome. Detours always in the creative process. Always.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah. Who else would like to share? Oh my gosh, it's we have room time for one more share.
I can share. It's Stacy.
Stacy, the rock stars. Stacy.
I didn't use any paint today.
Yes.
Well, actually I did, but then I cut my heart back out because it was horrible. It was bad. I didn't like it. So it's just yeah.
Yeah.
And then I love the sunshine, so I just wrote my poem
Yes.
with the rays, and
yeah, I
just keep going smaller and little details now.
It's a great go-to in my little 5-week class, and I can't remember what we did in the first class, but it's a great go-to, just creating sort of like that sunshine that's central, and then have things radiate from. Again, the writing of the words are very therapeutic, and they're very they resonate, right? It's just that opportunity to rewrite, and feel that energy as you're writing the words. So a great practice. It's simple and it's effective.
Yeah, and then the words that we used, that we kind of came up with, I just used in the other color.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it started with the quote, "My new life is going to cost me my old one."
Oh, I like that. I've never heard that before. That's awesome.
Just that forward motion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just going to formally end this, and then we'll leave the floor open for more sharing. But thank you all so very much for this beautiful realization. Hands to heart, deep breath in. Landing in all this gorgeousness, all these beautiful words that are resonating not only with yourself, but with myself as well. And thank you so much for sharing a little bit of magic today. I so appreciate you all. I'm going to end my